Some kindness doesn't disappear, it just waits. In a quiet village called Baka, nestled between rolling green hills and ancient olive trees, lived a humble man named Omar. He was a simple man with a simple life, and he owned a small tea stall right by the bustling marketplace. Every single morning, just as the sun began to warm the cobblestone streets, he would carefully brew the most fragrant cardamom tea. The aroma would drift through the air, a familiar and comforting scent to everyone in the village. And every single evening after the last customer had gone home and the market began to quiet down, Omar would do something special. He would leave 1 cup of his freshly brewed tea just outside his stall. It was always free. He didn't do it for attention, and he certainly didn't do it for gratitude. He just did it. It was a simple act of kindness. Whenever someone, a curious neighbor or a passing traveler, asked him why he did it, Omar would just smile gently, his eyes crinkling at the corners, and say softly, "Because warmth deserves to travel." He believed that a small act of warmth could journey far beyond his little stall, reaching someone who might need it most. Years passed like seasons. Omar grew older, his hair turned to silver, but his routine never changed. The morning brew, the evening cup left outside. The village grew and changed around him, but Omar's tea stall remained a constant, a small beacon of quiet generosity. Then one terrible night, disaster struck. A fire, wild and merciless, swept through the marketplace. Flames licked at the wooden stalls, turning years of hard work into ash and smoke. And in that blaze, everything Omar owned, his entire life's work, was gone. His little tea stall, the source of so much warmth, was reduced to a pile of charred wood. With nowhere else to go, Omar slept beneath the shade of a large fig tree, the very spot where his stall once proudly stood. He had nothing left. No tea, no cups, no stall. But even in his despair, his spirit of giving hadn't been extinguished. Every morning, he would wake up, walk to the spot where his counter used to be, and with a gentle, practiced motion, he would place an imaginary cup of tea on an imaginary counter. It was a silent ritual, a testament to a habit that had become more than just a routine. For Omar, generosity had become his prayer. One day, as Omar was performing his morning ritual, a stranger arrived in the village. He was a young man, well-dressed, with a kind and thoughtful face. He walked through the ruined marketplace until he stood before Omar. He watched the old man for a moment, then he knelt down. "Years ago," the young man said, his voice filled with emotion, "I was just a boy. I was passing through this village, starving, cold, and utterly alone. I had nothing." He looked directly into Omar's eyes. "Your tea, that 1 free cup you left out, it saved me. It gave me the strength to keep going." Omar was speechless. He barely remembered the countless faces that had passed by his stall over the years. Within hours, something incredible began to happen. Carts loaded with timber, tools, and supplies started arriving. Villagers, inspired by the young man's story and remembering Omar's years of quiet kindness, came to help. A new stall, stronger and more beautiful than the last, began to rise from the ashes. Omar, overwhelmed with gratitude, watched as his life was being rebuilt before his very eyes. He turned to the young man and asked, his voice trembling slightly, "Why? Why help me now after all this time?" The young man smiled, a reflection of Omar's own gentle smile from years ago. He replied, "Because karma isn't a ledger, a list of debts and credits to be paid back immediately." He paused, looking at the new stall taking shape. "It's a seed. You plant it, and you may not see it for a long time. But seeds always grow in their own time, when the conditions are right. So remember this story. Give when it's easy, give when it's hard. And most importantly, give when no one is watching, because you never know what seeds you are planting." Life has a beautiful way of remembering. Life remembers. Thanks for watching. If this story touched your heart, consider subscribing for more moments of inspiration. Until next time.